Latest in the continuing saga of Black Knight. Who knew there'd be another Black Knight, and who knew that it would come from Stern? So here he is, the king of pinball, Steve Ritchie.
How you guys doing? Catch anybody napping, and I'm gonna cut you with my blade. Don't nap, I'm serious. Anyway, my name's Steve Ritchie. I make pinball machines at Stern Pinball. Pinball is wow, I'm good at that. Pinball is a very thriving business at Stern right now. We're building games every day, and factory's busy, very loaded, lots and lots of employees. It's growing, and it's mostly because of a huge influx of enthusiasts who want to play pinball, want to have them in their homes. And we're doing okay in the operating realm, though, too. We make 3 different models, for those of you who don't know. We make a street model, which is it's called a Pro. It's not as expensive as our other models. It doesn't have as much in it, but it's also more reliable. And we sell that at a price point no one else can match. And then we sell a premium, a game with all the features of the limited edition, but less bling. You don't get a shaker motor, you don't get glass, but you get more. In the case of Black Knight, Sword of Rage, it's an upper play field, and quite a few more interesting rules that were made possible by the upper play field. So this is the original artwork. This is the very beginning of the artwork from Kevin O'Connor. There's so many great people involved in this, and I'm going to try and nail them one at a time. It's hard because I had a list, but it's boring to read from lists anyway. So this is the work of Kevin O'Connor, the very beginning of the playfield. I'm going to move on here. Okay, oh, sorry. This is Lyman Sheets and Penny. Once in a while he says, oh, Penny's getting on my nerves. And I go, Penny is the best thing that ever happened to you. And she is. Great people. This is a dog bite. I went to my dentist. He's a pinball head. It's cool. He's got like 20 machines in his basement. But he's also got this inbred white golden retriever, but it's white. And there's 2 of them. I walk in their house, and one dog is barking. His wife is holding that dog, barking every 8 seconds. Woof, woof. And I don't know what he's trying to say to me. The other dog is on my leg, humping me. And then I have to keep pulling him off, and I go, Paul, can you fix that? And finally we went upstairs. This guy has an incredible collection of autographs, including the Beatles, so many things. It's so cool. Anyway, and his dog got on my leg again and almost knocked me over. So I kind of have a temper. I picked up the dog by the neck and the butt, and I threw it across the room. And it ran back and bit me right there. Anyway, his wife was mortified. I just kind of shined it on. I don't know what's going on there. Okay, there it is. It's back. I have to stop stepping on cords. Anyway, I'm sorry. So his dog bit me. Next slide. We don't care. It's over. Look. Nearly healed. I said, I'm not going to sue you, Paul. He's a great guy and a great dentist, okay? His wife is a nurse. She patched me up. It's over. I don't know what these are doing here. Interesting pictures. These really don't have much to do with pinball, and I'm sorry. There are lots of them that have to do with pinball. They're coming up. I guess this team for Black Knight Sword of Rage was about 20 people at the peak. First it was just me. Then it was the mechanical engineer and me. Then it was, a few other people got on board for hardware, things we wanted to do, like that flame panel on the top and a special drive for the flail. We were already beginning to work with the flail. That works good. I'm trying not to touch anything. My wife is on the right. This is a pinhead's wife. They live in Mexico, and this is my favorite plant in the world. Why? Why? Tequila. It's blue agave. Okay. Now we're looking at toys on my desk. I think this might be a movie. I don't know. But anyway, I started messing with Knight toys, and I had the flame panel. Somebody produced it, and it was actually wrapped inside of a bulb, and it looked like a fire, We flattened it out, and we started working with this company who originally made it and asked them to do a rigid circuit board so we could have our fire working like that. It doesn't look good here on my desk. It's a mess. This is a moose butt. Okay, why is that there? I don't know. It's just, it's cool. It's in Minnesota. It's a moose butt. It's big. Moose butts are huge, actually. Okay, oh wait. This is Al Capone's grave, which is in Chicagoland, out near where I live, and some friends. Okay, now we're getting serious stuff. This is the original sculpt of the Black Knight toy. He's not holding anything right now, but this changed several times. This is a side view. This version was close, but not exactly correct. And these are all the different views. This thing was actually produced by, the part was made by Dave Link, a sculptor we use often. He's a very talented guy. He's incredible. And he got help this time from another huge contributor to this game. His name is Denai Kittivathana. He's a Thai man. He is such a great artist. He's what you see when you look at the Black Knight, when you look at all those monsters. They're awesome. And he set the flavor of the artwork in the game, not to the point of overlapping Kevin O'Connor with the cabinet and playfield and backlash art, but they did affect each other. And so they came up with a very nice concept. Is this boring? I have to know. Okay, good. Oh, that's my niece and my grandniece. Bye. There she is sitting in the window. She's cute. Oh, this is, you know what that is right there? That's Jody Dankberg, our licensing guy. There, I said it. No, it's not really him. This is the guy who's supposed to be sitting here with me right now, but he's out there winning a tournament right now. Tim Sexton. Tim and I are the Mutt and Jeff of pinball now. Tim came to Stern. This guy is so passionate about pinball. I grabbed him up instantly. He could have worked on someone else's game, but I wanted to give him a try because he's wild and crazy like me, even though we're years apart. He's 26, I'm 69. We get along, or else. That's how it is. That's what we say. We believe that. We do get along. And I listen to him. He listens to me. I like, what do I like? I like the, I like our idea interaction. He's much more in touch with, social media and stuff like that. Not that I'm not, but he's way more connected. And I do like that. And I like being able to understand what he thinks his generation likes, as well as mine. I mean, I get a handle on it just from being around young people, and I do like that. We've got quite a few at Stern, and then we got the geezers like me. I feel like I'm being drummed out. No way. That ain't gonna happen. Okay. This is the guy I was telling you about. See the blonde guy on the right? That is Denai Kittivathana. He's awesome. They have this little kids table where they color, and this is the art department. So the guy on the left is Josh Clay, and he was the lead artist for all the video work in the game. Both characters, both fun, both full of ideas, and part of a great collective where we work together to make the best game we could. The guy on the left is Alec Story. Also, Alec Story is sort of like, he refined the Black Knight character in the video, fire in the eyes and that kind of stuff, and a lot of other things. He definitely stylized him, and it's great. Zach Stark did a whole lot of different stuff, backgrounds and some characters. And this is boring. If it's getting boring, let me know. I like to praise the people that were on my team. A Steve Ritchie game, guess what? Isn't really a Steve Ritchie game. Well, it is. I steer the ship. I draw the game. I come up with stuff. I definitely have a lot of opinions on the way. But if somebody's, going to lend their great talents to my game, come to me. Come to me. All right, so this is Josh Clay and Tim Sexton playing together at the little table. This is the only room at Stern where you can do this. Oh, he made it. How about that? Got to tell you, folks, I never liked him. Now, this is Tim Sexton. Tim Sexton.
Steve, I have some bad news.
Oh, too bad. But it's not so bad because you never promised you would split the money with me. You should.
We could split the money.
Okay.
But I have bad news. I made it to the next round of the tournament.
Oh, okay. That's
sorry.
good.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Okay. This is another good friend of mine. Her and her husband, Rusty, have tons of pinball machines. She is just a piece of work. Her name is Shelley Nunley. Okay, Denai and his girlfriend at the, what was this? This was at Milwaukee.
Midwest, yep.
Milwaukee. This guy is the husband of Reina Cortez, who laid out all her harness. She's this great engineer, an incredible wiring and electronic person, and she works really hard. This is her husband. Her husband runs the cabinet line in the factory. His name is Angel, and he is. Okay, we got Black Knight on the line here. I think there's an Iron Maiden back there. These are Black Knight LEs being built. More pictures of that. See the blue stuff on the side? That's so we don't scratch up anything inside the cabinet or outside of the cabinet. And these are all test fixtures that you see. They have old games on them, like, I can't see any here. They all have old back boxes that are, I don't know, old games. See, I took this picture because I like it. This is games going out the door. I know, you might not understand, okay, but pinball will not stay alive if we don't make money. We have to make money. I am a pinball designer. I love making pinball, but pinball has to sell. I've already been in two companies that totally crashed to the ground. So pinball needs to make money. That is not my main motivation, but I want to sell as many games as possible. There's a lot of people that work at Stern. I feel somewhat responsible for their lives and their work. And I've seen a lot of people have to, be laid off at whatever, and it's like, it's terrible. So, pinball, making money. This is a nice view of the factory. This is a few hundred games there along the wall, getting ready to be shipped out. Just to the right is the shipping dock. Trucks pull in, we fill them up with games, and they go all over the world. Another view from this balcony. Interesting place, it is. Along there's a bunch of flags too, but I didn't take pictures of them. This is another view of the factory. The factory's gigantic. I try to get 10,000 steps a day, with my Fitbit, and I don't make it very often, but we have like this labyrinthine, path we follow every day, and then do 2 or 3 laps, especially when it's really cold or really hot outside. I will do that. I like it there rather than going outside, because if you go around the block, it's a huge long distance. And wherever I am here in this labyrinth, I can stop and go to my office if I need to quickly. More games on test. This is the test line, the first test line. This is on break. That's why nobody's there. This is that same area where people go through and they look at every single switch, every solenoid, every light, make it work, and every line of code is checked. No, that's not true. Tim lied in our video. He checks everything, and he didn't make a billion bugs. In fact, he made hardly any bugs. Somebody else on the team is the bug man. He needs to be squashed. It's not far off. Another view of the factory. Don't want to get too boring here. This is where this is like a fence near the stock room. And we put up play fields up there. Every one we make is up there. This is a play field as it comes to us in a rack from the screener. More play fields. These are some great people on the line.
It's lunchtime.
We're going to be featuring them in more videos soon, just because they're really good people. A lot of them have been there for 30 years, working with Gary Stern, and it's like they're pretty special. This is a game in a carrier as it moves up the line to have more parts assembled to it. This is also the inside of the QA area where we try to keep one of each translite on the wall just to look at and remember and kind of groan at. Okay, same thing with side armor here. This is a game we built I think we built 100 Primus machines. It's okay, it's pretty fun. These two are a couple. Red Sonja's on the right, Jose on the left. They're both jacks of all trades in the factory. if there's trouble, they can fix it, find the right part, correct the problem. And this is Ron. Ron came from Chicago Gaming, great tester. Okay, I'm going to show you this, as soon as I find it. Someone stole it, I just know. This is our accessory plunger for the game. This is how it started out, and this is how it turned out. Could you pass that around? This is available from Stern, an add-on, and it's like...
First, I'm going to get it close up on the camera
while
while I keep talking.
Okay, that's great. Thanks, Dave. Anyway, this was a sketch that Kevin O'Connor did, and is that working? Anyway, I'd like to have it back. You guys can see it and touch it, whatever. I think it's a masterpiece plunger. Why? Because it feels good. Why? Because one of those skull's eyes is always looking at you when you look down there. His belt buckle dragon is on the front side, also with red eyes. It's a nice piece of work by Kevin O'Connor, Dave Link. That's it for that one. Dave Link was, primary at getting the whole molded part together, shape and face, all that. Okay, apparently that's my last slide. Anyway, I would like to, I'm just going to have when I close this. Hey, sort of nothing. Anyway, we had a great team. I want to mention some of those people. Tim and I are the battery of the game, the pitcher and the catcher, and we work together to make Black Knight. Mechanical engineer by the name of John Rothermel, who was really like second on the team. He was making this stuff as fast as I could draw it to get parts made. A great mechanical engineer. He's very European. He grew up in France, right on the border of France and Germany, and he's a very smart guy, but he's also, I don't know, he's got that affinity for touching metal and plastic and he just has the intuition and familiarity with materials to pick the right thing, to do the right kind of design for strength, for durability, or for beauty. On to that, the mechanical engineering team, I would like to give a shout out to Elliot Eisman. He's doing our topper right now, and I think it's the best topper ever made. Okay, I am biased, but it is the best topper ever made. Okay, it's the best. Right.
I have to go back.
Bye.
They're calling me.
Yeah, it's great to see you,
Sorry.
Tim.
Nice to see everyone. Great talking to y'all.
Thanks for the help.
Thank you.
Then we got another young mechanical engineer, and these guys are both from Purdue, Elliot and what's his name? Harrison. That's a hard name to remember if you're old. Harrison Drake, young guy. They were both graduates of Purdue. He's a wise ass though, but we got along at the end of the project, and he did a lot of nice stuff for us. He worked on the torso, the body, and just about anything we needed to have done. I want to give a big shout out to Denai Kittipatana, once again, magnificent video artist, and Kevin O'Connor, who's a legend. You know his work. Wow. In that room with the artists, Alec Story, Zach Stark, Mark Galvez, Chuck Ernst, their boss. He did some work. Mostly he's mostly he's negotiating what they're going to do for us or not. But it was cool. It worked out. On the software side, Tim worked closely with Corey Stupp, Wei-Sun Chang, Mike Kisabat, Brett, forgot his last name, UI, 20 years in the video game business. He's a very good programmer. What you see on the screen, a lot of the tutorial he put together, and some wording and phrases, and in the test unit, he converted a lot of stuff there from dots to regular text, and good job. I have to give a shout out to Reina Cortez, engineer, wiring harness, and the two ladies who run the BOM. They kind of tell me what I have to do. I will pay them $100 if they'll knock my BOM $100 down. so I can add more stuff. It's totally cheating. They don't ever accept it. Okay, and that's Gabby Alvarez and Leticia Ramirez. Both, ladies work harder than men. It's a fact. They're always busy. We're not. We're fooling around. Not all of us, not all the time, but they do work hard. They stay on it, and we just kind of, I don't know. We work, but we fool around because we're boys. Every one of you are boys. You're just like me. I'm 28, really. Okay? We got our toys. If you're sitting in this room, that's what you are, dudes. You got some toys. They have different shapes and sizes. Some got wheels, and some have balls. That's it. It's an awesome team, and I definitely want to shout out to George Gomez helped us out too. We help each other. Right? I've helped George. I think I did an adjustment to his sword on Deadpool. He did some work on the sculpt for our toy, and I don't know. We work together. We want every game to be a success. It is a team. It's a team, and. At Williams, there was really heavy-duty competition because there was a lot of designers, and there are only so many slots in that era that you would get where you got a good window of sales. Like right now in the summer, traditionally it's dead. Okay, Europe has bought everything they're going to buy, but that's still true for operators. But enthusiasts have no season, so it's a little different and better now. But you always had to vie for that good Christmas season. You want to get out there in November or December. January's not so good, but it's okay. It's better than June. It's better than June. Anyway, this is a different kind of competition. We still are competing, but what is it? I don't know. It's just more of a team thing where we want everyone to succeed. Maybe we all got mature. I don't know. I'm not mature. Forget it. That didn't happen. Wow. Black Knight, Sword of Rage was a lot of fun. Things that happened. I started trying to write music, and I have directed just about every game I've ever made. If it involved music that had to be produced by us, I mean, even then, I would direct the sound of music. Even on Star Trek: The Next Generation, some of that was, what I wanted until somebody brought up something, and and then it would just grow and whatever. But I'm not going to be able to do that anymore because my hearing is so bad now that I can't hear pitch. Here's the cool story, though. I was writing a song for Black Knight, and I got kind of frustrated, and I just don't want to play my guitar anymore. It makes me sad, so I'm not. And but Dave Peterson offered to. Dave Peterson's our, I guess he shares power with Gary Stern, partner, and he came up with. Enlisting Anthrax's Scott Ian and Brendan Small, okay? And when the music came to the lab and we actually were able to play it in the game, everyone from engineering, 50 people gathered around it. It was so awesome, just smoking. And it worked with Black Knight. Rage! It was outrageous. I do love the music. It fires me up when I play it. It fires you guys up too. I hate to tell you this, but it also made you play one more time. 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 Anyway, I do the same thing. I do. A lot of fun working with them. I never met them, never got to talk to them. They kind of isolate us from artists and stuff like that because we're scary. Scary people. And they don't want us interfering with anything that might be normal. So we don't. Other things that happened. When we first made the flail, it was pretty dangerous actually. We made the thing and it had springs and balls on it, and the spring would break and the ball would go flying. Can't have that anymore. We changed materials, I think 4 times, modified the whole thing so many times. I would say it went through 3 iterations, 3 generations of operation, and finally we have this one, and it's like. It's good for millions of cycles, and I'm really proud of that. I'm not the guy that really did the work. I just said, nope, that's not it yet, John. That's what I did. What he did was keep fixing it until it worked well. So it should run for a good long time. It can also run a lot faster than it does in the game, but it's kind of dangerous. I don't want anybody to stick their hands in there. We have an interlock now. Well, it doesn't matter. You want to turn it, but don't stick your hands in it when it's running. We have kind of a slower operation than we could have. It could be a lot faster, but there are modes in the game where don't take your glass off and run it up through where the flail's running backwards, trying to throw the ball the other direction, because it's kind of dangerous. All right. Other toys, the shield seems to be pretty bulletproof too, but some games got out, without Loctite on the screws. Screws holding the target onto the bracket, and the big set screw holding the actual rotating device, the bracket and the target, on a shaft. There was one out here that got loosened up. So Loctite is my friend. I just have to convince everybody else at Stern. Oh, slipped, said Williams almost. They're all mixed up in here. They are mixed up. It's a big window of time that crisscrosses like that, but just in my head. Okay, so anyway, yeah, we need to get people, integrated into the Loctite thing as soon as they arrive at Stern. All new employees will study Loctite, the Loctite video, because we want it on all screws of things that move. Other things, so I would say that, what do I want to say? I have to be careful. I liked, what is it? I want to say that I like working on licensed games, but they can be stressful. I'll put it like that. Okay, there were some things on Star Wars and Game of Thrones that required so many art approvals and changes. Whoever's doing that, quit it. Anyway, it's like a nag. It's like somebody on your back. It really, okay, this sounds conceited, but here I'm going to say it. You're going to tell the king how to make a pinball? Are you? I love suggestions. People have suggestions and ideas, and I like that. But, who are these people? I don't make movies. I don't even try. But they make the movies, and then they want to control what goes on the pinball machine also. So in this game, there were Matt Cristiano and Rick Bartlett, who own Planetary Pinball, and the IP of Williams Valley Midway, are my friends for life. And they said, make a good game and we're happy. That's it. And they do love it. They both have LEs now. Matt says his wife likes it better than he does because the game just kicks his ass every time he looks at it. But he hasn't had much of a chance to play it. This guy has 200 machines set up and another 300 or 400 in a barn in California. He's an incredible guy. Anyway, that was the best thing about the game. Everybody could do what they wanted. It's not like you have to follow this script. And that went for artists. That went for everything. That went for video art and things we could say. We could say anything we want, right? Pretty much. I tried to keep it clean. There was one thing I'm not in love with, but it's kind of cool. Run home to mother, maggot. It's mean, it's nasty. I don't know if I want kids to hear that. Mom, what's a maggot? You, kid, you're a maggot. Anyway, we like to have fun with that kind of stuff, and it's, I don't know, it makes the job better and easier when we can laugh about things. Like Lyman, every morning he'll come in my office, open the door, and go, Ferber Derber. Because I said that a couple times. Now he says it to me every day. If you look really closely on the Star Trek playfield, it's covered with parts probably, but there is the Ferber system and the Derber system. It's like a map of space. Anyway, it's a pretty fun place. I get to see these guys and work with them every day. Greg Ferris and some of our new people like Stephen Martin, I have to say, give a shout out to that guy. This guy's like super enthusiastic, a great artist. He sort of does all the mechanical stuff, but he wants something done. He just gets it done no matter what. That's it. It's a great crew, and I'm happy to be there. I'd also be happy to be, like, say, a billionaire in Australia. That'd be fun. All right, I don't want to be. That's a lie. What else can I tell you about Black Knight? Tell you what, I'll take questions until we end it up. You have a question.
Come up here,
You
please.
don't have a question. Yeah.
Come up. You have to come up here.
If you want to. Okay.
I think we should make it a tradition, since you did it last time, that you give us a sampling of some maybe Mortal Kombat voices.
Oh, that was a couple of years ago, I remember that.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll do a few. I have to concentrate though really hard. It was a long time ago. Fatality. Pop the mic there. Give me a suggestion.
Get over here.
That's good. Get over here. I'm trying to think of more. That was a long, long time ago. Oh, that's a great one. Finish him. Sonia wins.
Stevie, thank you for everything, by the way.
Say it
Big
again.
fan. So, I have a question. Is there anything like, all right, you're with George, and you guys have some differences of opinion via design. Can you go back in time a little bit? Is there something that, you guys, hey, I would have loved to add this, but it got scratched?
George and I are fine. We're friends.
No. I'm not saying any
Okay.
differences. I'm saying the design-wise, what got scratched that you had that was a vision?
I
of
pee
yours?
on everything he does.
Come on.
No, I don't. I will tell you the truth, and George will tell you this. When George came to Williams, I showed him how to make pinball machines.
Really?
Really. He'll tell you that.
I know he has a rule of thumb of keeping it under the
Not rule of
glass.
thumb. George is a very creative guy on his own, okay? I just showed him the nuts and bolts of making a pinball machine go together.
What I'm saying is there a design that got scratched that you said, hey, I'd love to do XYZ on this title, and they all said, well, we can't because you not keeping it under the glass, or is there some design that you can think of that?
This is a lot of words for a deaf man to take in. Spoken a little too quickly with very little enunciation. Would
Dave?
you like to interpret that, Dave? Please?
I'm not sure what.
Okay, never mind. It was a question I can't answer.
Is there an idea on a title?
Quietly, boil
Okay.
it down to 10 words.
Is there a specific idea on a title, pinball title that you came out with
Yeah.
that got scratched? Like, for instance, Black Knight, or I don't know, how many titles
No,
have you made?
there's
Many.
there's none of that.
Nothing
Once I
nothing
made-
you had came up with that got
No,
scratched.
once I made Stellar Wars, and it was a really bad layout, and I picked it up and threw it in the dumpster and started over.
Thank you.
That's how bad it was. Yes, sir.
Steve, love your titles like everyone else here.
Thank you. Thanks for being a fan.
Yes, and thank you, by the way.
Causing feedback?
Yeah. I'd like to understand maybe some of the things you do to refine like your playfield layouts. You're the king of flow, and when you play your games, the positioning of stand-ups, where ramps are placed. Just they have such great feel, and I'm trying to understand, like, do you just understand those mentally that this
Okay,
ramp has to be
I can
just
explain
here?
some of that. I try to
and-
design.
and refine it. How do you get it right in the end, where it's got to be exactly got a
Question
millimeter
is
to the
no?
left and
Oh
a
my God.
millimeter to the right? Sorry.
Sorry. All right, no humiliation intended. I hear you. What I do is I end up drawing a game, and then, I'll blend new things. Almost everything has to be drawn 2 or 3 times, or more, sometimes more, until I get a system that works all together. That's what I look for. Something that, connects one shot to another, but sometimes I also get insecure about repeating that too much, so I try to break it up, and I don't know. Should I ever make a game without an orbit lane? That's a question. It's like a rhetorical question. Should I ever? Right. People love them, so you have to have that. I don't know about lanes and jets. You probably don't have to have lanes, but Gary likes them. He will be suspicious of any game without lanes. That's how it works. Hey, look, Gary's a smart guy. He's also a survivor. He knows what it takes to make a pinball machine, and he knows what it takes to make a pinball company. And I'm not defending him. We haven't always gotten along. Most of you know that. Sometimes we don't now, but we're getting along a lot better because we're both geezers. We don't have the energy to argue and fight. And we both want the company to be successful, of course. But anyway, that's how it is.
Okay, I'll make it quick and easy. Thanks for being here. How long does it normally take from, okay, we're going to do a new game until it's ready to be produced? And how many do you typically do
I
it
think
in?
we're doing like 14 or 15 months between machines now.
It's still pretty quick.
Yeah, I took longer on Black Knight. I'm old and slow. Not even. No, it's like some things take longer. I do like to set the goal high. I just do. And do what I can do within the corporate realm, limits that are there. Exceed them when I can. Yes?
Could you recount the tale at Texas Pinball Festival of the launch of Black Knight with the horse on stage?
Okay. Oh man, that's a long story. I got time. Everybody sit down.
It's not that long.
Here's the story. For Black Knight 2000 at Williams, we were going to debut in Europe, in Paris, in a cafe on the Champs-Élysées by our huge French distributor, PSD, and a guy named Didier Salmon and his crew. They rented a very expensive cafe. When I say cafe, it's really a theater, okay? With seats on the outside, taking up like 3/4 of a block, big, huge room, stage, you name it, tons and tons of tables, waiters all over the place. And this guy, Didier, he invites every operator, every person that he sells games to this thing. And it's not cheap. It's a big, expensive party. So he makes special invitations, Chevalier Noir. And it's like, everybody got one, even me. And then, so Marty Glazeman, the vice president of sales at the time, and myself went to France, and we went to this thing. We were excited as hell. It was going to be so cool. And they had 3 kiosks of 3 games in a triangle, 3 places in the room covered up with black cloths. So everybody's drinking, and they're walking around with these delicious canapes and stuff. It was awesome. And then the lights go down a little bit, and Didier, okay, there's nothing wrong with this at all, but Didier is gay. But he borrows his first lieutenant's wife to sit by him so that no one will know. But everyone knows. It's okay. So he goes up on stage, the lights go down, and he says a whole bunch of stuff in French, which I did not understand. But he ends up with a nom, Chevalier Noir. Okay, so backstage, you heard this big rumbling, and then there's here's this guy in full armor on a giant black warhorse, real. He turns to face the crowd, and the horse rears up because the rider made him do it. And everybody started applauding. And when the horse came back down, it freaked him out, and he let go of everything. Okay, so it's so embarrassing, a big, stinky, really steaming pile, really steaming, okay? Big, and I'm telling you, when he peed, it was a garden hose diameter stream. And it was splashing off the stage, I don't know, but it was thoroughly aerated, and the whole room stunk so bad, and people were running out the door. This is a true story. And then Didier started crying, and immediately his boyfriend shows up, and they're hugging and everything. It's okay, get over it, So they get over it, and some guys come out with shovels. They're wearing white smocks, and they shovel and a broom and disinfectant, and everybody went outside. They were disgusted. Outside and, out to the cafe area. It was cool that it was there. Anyway, they opened the doors in the back and the windows in the front and everything. The air went through, and then people started laughing, which was a good thing. It was a good thing. And they came back in, and it didn't smell bad. We unveiled the games, and they loved it. So that's the end of that story. I hope it never happens again. True story.
Quick question. I just wanted to know if there's any plans to actually release the music from the Black Knight, like they did for Deadpool.
I didn't really hear that, Dave.
Soundtrack album like they did for
Yes, we're gonna have one. We do have one.
Okay. Physical or is it just digital? Like,
I don't understand you. I can't.
oh, sorry. Physical or?
Yeah, it's vinyl.
Okay.
For sure.
Cool.
I'll have them for $299.98 each. I will.
One quick one, Steve. What's your favorite game to play?
Everybody always asks me that. Is Black Knight sort of rage? Watch me. I do have a good time playing it. I just do. I'm happy. It is my favorite right now, just because it's such a battle, and it's kind of a throwback to old school. There's some old school there, definitely, and some new stuff. It's a good mix. I'm very happy with it.
Can I throw in a quick second one then?
Say it again.
Can I throw in a quick second question then?
I need him.
Second question.
Oh, yes.
Which of all your games that you've designed was the most enjoyable for you to design?
Black Knight sort of rage. Didn't you hear me?
Thanks, Steve.
Hi, thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I listened to a podcast while I was driving up with Chuck Ernst,
Yeah.
and he mentioned that when they were designing the animations, they said there were just a few rules. No fur, no feathers, no hair.
Yeah,
And then he said when you showed your designs, every single one had feathers, fur, and hair. And I don't know, did you do that just to piss him off, or were those really
Hey,
your
look.
designs that you wanted?
The bad guys that they came up with are gorgeous. I didn't care if they have, hair and fur. That was just to make their lives easier, developing animations. That stuff takes more time, no doubt. And I'm not unhappy with any of it. I love stone, that skin on the hand, I like how all of them look. I think most people do. And it's fun to battle them. This is the biggest lizard I could find. I don't know why we said that. Sir, do you have a question? No? Does anyone have any questions? I'll be happy to answer it.
No, you come down here while I ask my question.
It's good,
Steve,
but it's almost not as good as interpreting.
are
sorry.
are you working on your next title already?
Yeah, but there's almost nothing on it. I can't really because I'm running back and forth. We haven't finished the topper. I'm still on that. We're still banging out code and some cool stuff to come out. You can't blame the company. I guess we would, a game designer and a programmer, a project and a team. We really don't want to. We want to make it as good as we can. And it's like they always want us to build sooner than we want to give it up. And it's okay. I understand it, but we continue to work, and we're going to keep working on Black Knight for a while. I can still draw. I draw at home. I have a system. During the day, though, right now, I'm going to focus on the topper and additional fun rules. We brought a lot of new stuff with us. I think Last Chance is out there now. It's a feature on Black Knight, and it wasn't anywhere before. We released it, I think, on, what was it, Friday or something. Anyway.
Steve, I have a getaway, and I gotta know, is the theme really you, like trying to escape from a speeding ticket, maybe, from driving too fast? I'd love to understand if any of your personal
it's
life
an extension
sort
of the
rolled
high-speed story, which is
Yeah.
a true story. I ran away. I didn't run away from the cops. I didn't even know they were behind me, or I was going really fast, like 146 miles an hour.
146?
Yeah, but it was like, you got to picture, I'm crazy, but I'm not stupid. I don't want to kill anybody. It was on I-5 in a section between Sacramento and Lodi, California. Nothing but brand new freeway. Nobody was on it. Tomato trucks in the right right lane. I would slow down when I went by them, and then nothing for a long time. So I made my car go 146 miles an hour, and I didn't know the cop was behind me until a cop came this way and turned around, and then I knew it was for me, and I pulled over.
What car was it, by the way?
I'm sorry?
What car?
It was a Porsche 928. I think like a 1980 maybe, something like that. It was a great car, a fun car. I got in so much trouble. Say it again.
What is the theme of Flash?
A guy who's wrapping a lady in a blanket. I know. All right. It's Connie Mitchell. It's like, I didn't have any real say about that. And also, I'm new at Williams. I don't know how far to push and everything else. And really, they don't like me. And after we made the game, it was a big success. They hated me. They hated me. And it's like, so.
It's a fun game. I just don't get the art.
I don't either. The art's horrible. Don't ever look at Stellar Wars either. That's another one. Firepower, I made him do like 3 times. He had to do it over 3 times. Yeah, I think, yeah, but the drawing is like, the guy he didn't even know 3D, or it's just totally. I'm not giving any to you, Dave.
Yeah, I got that.
Okay, no, you can have one. Yes, I'll give them away. We got questions or not? No. These, I'm gonna sign them. These are for the autograph session. If you don't have anything to bring, you can have one of these. There's, different decals from, you're never gonna see them anywhere else. Any other questions? Are you sufficiently bored? All right, I've done my job. Thanks for having me.